Picture this. You're in bed with someone you care about, the lights are low, the air feels charged, and instead of rushing or trying to say the perfect thing, you lock eyes with him, let your breath deepen and just feel the moment. That unspoken energy, that's what makes him pause, lean in, and feel something he'll never forget. Let's talk about how to create that magic, beautiful, spicy ladies. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Whether you're in a new relationship, keeping things casual, or in a deep, long-term partnership, this conversation is for you. We're diving into something that often goes unspoken, but it's one of the most powerful dynamics in intimacy. So much of the advice out there about physical connection focuses on what to do, what to say, what new move to try, or what position to experiment with. And yeah, that can be fun, but what if I told you the most unforgettable, emotionally charged moments don't come from what you say? They come from what you don't say? There's something so electric, so raw, about a woman who knows how to communicate desire, confidence, and presence without even opening her mouth. I'm not talking about awkward silence. I mean intentional silence. The kind that wraps around him and says, "You've never felt energy like this before, and you won't forget it." This kind of energy doesn't just make a man feel physically desired. It awakens something deeper in him emotionally. Here's the truth. When a woman owns her sensuality with nonverbal confidence, she becomes magnetic. She creates moments that don't just live in his body, they live in his memory. So if you've ever wondered, how can I take things to the next level without feeling like I'm putting on a show? How do I build desire without chasing approval? Or even, how do I connect with my partner in a way that feels effortless and powerful? This is for you. Today, I'm sharing 5 things you can do in bed without saying a word that will completely blow a man's mind. This isn't about trying to impress someone. It's about stepping into your power, reconnecting with your sensual energy, and letting that speak louder than any words ever could. These aren't things you need to act out. They're about presence, self-awareness, and being bold in the most subtle, intimate ways. Let's get into it. The first thing you can do, and it's so underrated but so magnetic, is to be fully present. It sounds simple, but it's not always easy. We live in a world that's constantly pulling us out of the moment. You know how it goes. You're in bed, and suddenly your mind's racing. Do I look okay from this angle? What's he thinking? Am I doing this right? In those moments, you're not experiencing connection. You're trying to control it. But when you're fully present, when your body, your energy, your awareness are all right here, in this breath, in this touch, that's where the magic happens. It creates an intimacy that no technique or script can touch, because it tells him without a word, I'm here with you. I'm not distracted. I'm not pretending. I'm feeling this with you. When you're truly present, it's like you become electric. Not because of what you're doing, but because of how you're doing it. Your movements slow down. Your energy deepens. You're not performing anymore. You're inviting him into a space that's real and honest. Men can feel that, even the ones who seem super physical. They can sense when you're fully there versus when you're checked out. And when he feels your presence, your openness, your aliveness in that moment, it does something to him. It melts his walls. It makes him feel seen, not just wanted for what he can give, but truly seen for who he is. That kind of presence turns intimacy into something sacred, something you both experience together, not something he's doing to you or you're doing for him. I remember a friend of mine telling me about a moment with her partner where she decided to just stop overthinking. She took a deep breath, let go of worrying about how she looked, and just focus on the feeling of being there with him. She said it was like time slowed down. Her breath, the way she touched him, the way she let herself feel everything. It changed the whole energy of the moment. He looked at her afterward and said, I don't know what you did, but that felt different. That's the power of presence. You don't need to say a thing. Your silence, your breath, the way your hand lingers, the way you let yourself be in the moment. That says everything. It says, I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to feel you. I trust myself in this space. So the next time you're with someone you care about, pause, breathe, slow it all down, drop into your body, and just feel it as it's happening. Your energy will speak, and trust me, he'll never forget how you made him feel. Now that we've talked about the power of being fully present, let's move into another way you can create that electric connection without saying a word. Through your eyes. I'm talking about deep, intentional eye contact, beautiful, spicy ladies, the kind that speaks louder than anything you could say. Not just a quick glance or a nervous look away, but the kind of gaze that says everything. When you look at a man with calm desire, with that quiet confidence that says, I'm in this moment, I see you, I want this, it creates a charge in a room that he can't ignore. Most people rush through intimacy. They're chasing a feeling, moving fast, following scripts they think they're supposed to stick to. But when you slow down and hold eye contact, you're not just being physical anymore. You're making it personal, and that changes everything. When you hold his gaze with confidence, you're sending a message. This is real. I'm here with you. I'm not afraid to be seen, and I'm not afraid to see you. That kind of emotional courage is so sexy, so rare. It cuts through the surface level stuff and goes straight to the heart of the experience. Here's something a lot of people don't realize. Men crave to be looked at this way. They want to be seen, not just for their body or what they can do, but for who they are in that moment. When you hold eye contact in silence, you're telling him, you're enough right now, and I'm not going anywhere. That kind of energy can disarm even the most guarded man, because it makes him feel chosen, not just desired. I've had women ask me, won't that feel too intense? Not if it's genuine. This isn't about staring him down. It's about being fully open in your expression, soft but grounded. Your eyes become the invitation, saying, come closer, feel safe here, I'm connected to you. When your eyes carry that energy, your whole vibe follows. Eye contact also builds anticipation. When you look at him like you know what's about to happen between you, without saying a word, it plants a seed of excitement in his mind. It makes him lean in, not just physically, but emotionally. It's not the loudest form of seduction, but it's often the most unforgettable. I remember talking to a friend who tried this with her partner. She said they were in bed, and instead of rushing or filling the silence with words, she just looked at him. Really looked at him, letting her eyes linger a little longer than usual. She didn't say anything, but she let her gaze soften, let it show her desire, her presence. She told me he stopped for a second, almost frozen, and then he said, why does that feel so intense? That's the magic of eye contact. It's not just about the physical. It's about the emotional connection you're creating. It's about letting your desire be felt without explaining it. Your gaze can be gentle, playful, fiery, whatever feels true to you. It just needs to be real. Because when your energy is authentic, when your eyes are alive, he'll feel something deeper than just attraction. He'll feel seen, wanted, chosen, all without you saying a thing. So the next time you're in an intimate moment, don't shy away from his gaze. Let your eyes do the talking. Linger, breathe, lock in. It might feel vulnerable at first, but that's where the power is. When you master the art of speaking through your gaze, you create a connection that doesn't just turn him on, it opens him up. And trust me, he'll carry that moment with him long after it's over. Now that we've covered the power of eye contact, let's talk about something else that's so simple but incredibly powerful in intimacy: your breath. We often overlook how much magic lives in something as natural as breathing, beautiful, spicy ladies. But in those intimate moments, your breath isn't just keeping you alive. It's a language all its own. It communicates your arousal, your comfort, your openness, your connection. And when you become aware of it, when you own it, it becomes one of the most magnetic tools you have to deepen the moment without saying a word. Think about it. What's more intimate than syncing your breath with someone else's? What's more raw than letting someone hear your pleasure? Not through loud, dramatic sounds, but through a breath that's real, spontaneous, and completely yours. When you let yourself breathe deeply during a physical connection, you create a rhythm that invites him to slow down and really feel you, not just touch you, but tune into your energy. It's like you're creating music with your body, and your breath is the beat. That's where the chemistry deepens, where things go from mechanical to magical. Your breath shows that you're present, that you're surrendering to the moment. It says, I'm not overthinking how I look. I'm not rushing. I'm right here, letting this move through me. That kind of embodied energy is so attractive because you're not performing, you're experiencing. You're inviting him into your rhythm, and he'll follow because it feels more real than anything scripted ever could. Here's something men might not always say out loud, but they feel it. When you breathe with intention, with confidence, with pleasure, it tells him you're safe in your own body. And when you're safe with yourself, it helps him relax too. It pulls him out of his head, out of any pressure to perform, and into his body, into the moment with you. That's where real connection lives. Your breath becomes a conversation in that silence. You're saying, I'm turned on, I'm here with you, I feel safe, I feel open, and he hears that. He doesn't need you to say, this feels good. He feels in the way your breath catches, the way it deepens when something hits just right, the way it flows naturally. I had a friend share a story with me about a moment with her partner where she focused on her breathing instead of worrying about what to do next. It was early in the morning, actually around this time, 6:29 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on Monday like today, May 19, 2025, and they were lying in bed, the room quiet except for the sound of their breathing. She said she just let herself breathe deeply, letting her exhales be a little louder, a little more intentional, not forcing anything but just feeling the moment. She noticed how it changed energy. He started matching her rhythm without even realizing it, and the whole experience felt slower, deeper, more connected. She didn't say a word, but her breath spoke for her, and he told her later it was one of the most intense moments they'd ever shared. The best part about this is you don't have to overthink it or fake it. You just have to allow it. Breathe into the moment. Let go of trying to control the experience. The more you breathe, the more your body softens. The more you soften, the more you feel. And the more you feel, the more connected he becomes. Not just to your body, but to your energy. Letting your breath lead doesn't just blow his mind. It grounds him. It brings him into your pace. And that's when the magic happens. It's not just passion. It's trust, not just physical connection, but emotional resonance. So the next time you're in that space with someone you care about, take a deep breath. Not to impress him, but for you. Because when you own your breath, you own your presence. And when you own your presence, you become absolutely unforgettable. Let's talk about another way you can create an unforgettable moment without saying a word, by taking control in the subtlest, most powerful way. When we think about control in the bedroom, a lot of people jump to extremes, like total dominance or total submission. But the real magic, beautiful, spicy ladies, lives in the in-between, in those quiet, confident micro-movements that guide the moment without ever needing to explain a thing. There's something so sexy about a woman who takes control in ways that are calm and intentional. When you shift your body just a little closer to him, when you guide his hand with yours, no rush, no pressure, just a gentle but clear direction, or when you tilt your chin toward his lips or press your hips against him with purpose, you're saying, I know what I want and I'm not afraid to lead us there. He feels that, even if he doesn't consciously name it. These subtle movements show the difference between a moment where he's guessing what you want and a moment where you're showing him. And that kind of showing doesn't come from being bossy or overbearing. It comes from your body's intelligence, from knowing what feels good to you, what you desire, and being unapologetic about expressing that silently, sensually. I've talked to women who worry, I don't want to seem like I'm trying too hard, or I'm not a super dominant person. But this kind of control isn't about dominance. It's about confidence. It's about owning your right to experience pleasure and guiding the moment in a way that feels good for both of you. It's not about taking power away from him. It's about co-creating the experience, giving him something to respond to, opening the door and saying, follow me, meet me here. A good man loves that clarity. He thrives on that kind of feminine leadership because it's not about ego. It's emotionally aware. Intimacy isn't a performance. It's a dance. And in any good dance, the roles aren't rigid. They flow. One moment he's leading, the next you are. And that's what keeps it alive, what builds chemistry, what keeps you both connected and fully in the moment. When you guide with your body, you invite him to be more attentive, more in tune with your rhythm. It shifts the experience from him doing things to you to the two of you moving together in this unspoken harmony. And that makes a connection so much deeper, so much more charged. I had a friend tell me about a moment with her partner that really stuck with her. It was a quiet evening. Actually, thinking about it, it was around this time last year, so probably late May 2024, and they were in bed, the room dimly lit, just the two of them. She wasn't feeling super talkative, but she knew what she wanted. So instead of saying anything, she gently took his hand and placed it where she wanted it, then shifted her body closer, guiding the moment with her movements. She said it was like the whole energy shifted. He became more present, more focused on her, and it felt like they were moving together in a way they hadn't before. She didn't need to explain or ask. Her body spoke for her, and that quiet confidence made the moment so much more intense for both of them. When you take control in these subtle ways, you're not waiting for permission or hoping he figures it out. You're creating the moment you want. That kind of clarity is magnetic because it shows you trust yourself, you know your body, and you're not afraid to lead. So the next time you're in that space, try it. Adjust your body slightly. Pull him closer. Use your hands to guide his touch. Don't ask. Don't overthink. Just move with intention. Let your body speak with quiet, unshakable confidence. Because when you do, you stop being a passenger in the experience. You become a partner in it. And that's not just sexy, it's unforgettable. Now let's dive into one of the most powerful, disarming things you can do in bed without saying a word. Something that's all about your energy, not your actions. I'm talking about surrendering, beautiful, spicy ladies. But I want to reframe what that means because it's not what you might think. Surrender doesn't mean giving up your power, being passive, or becoming small. It's actually one of the boldest things you can do. True surrender, the kind that makes a man pause, breathe deeper, and feel something in his chest, comes from strength. It's when you allow yourself to fully receive without overthinking, without worrying about how you look, without trying to control the moment. It's giving yourself permission to feel everything, pleasure, emotion, connection, without holding back. So many of us have been taught that to be strong, we need to stay in control, to always know what's next, to guard ourselves and never seem too into it. But the most magnetic, breathtaking moments in intimacy happen when you let go, when you melt into the moment, when you let someone hold you, touch you, kiss you, and you don't just go through the motions, you embrace it, you let it move you. When you surrender in this way, it's not just sexy, it's sacred. You're not performing pleasure, you're embodying it. You're not pretending to be turned on. You're allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough to actually feel it. That vulnerability, that realness, hits a man on a deeper level. It says, you're not just seeing my body, you're being let into my experience. That's what he remembers, what makes him feel trusted, chosen, honored. Surrender doesn't look the same for everyone. It's not always soft or quiet. Sometimes it's wild, sometimes it's fierce, sometimes it's still. It's not about how it looks. It's about how free you feel, how safe you are in yourself to let go and let someone truly connect with you. I had a friend share a moment that really brought this home for her. It was early in the morning. Actually, around this exact time, 6:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on a Monday like today, May 19th, 2025, and she was with her partner. The room's still dark except for the soft morning light creeping in. She decided to stop holding back, to stop worrying about how she looked or what he might think, and just let herself feel everything. She let her body relax, let her breath flow, let herself be fully in the moment. She said it was like a weight lifted. She felt free, and he felt it too. He told her later it was one of the most connected moments they'd ever had, not because of anything she did, but because of how open she was. When you surrender without shame, when your body, your breath, your energy are completely open, you don't need words. That silence becomes powerful. He sees a woman who trusts herself, who owns her pleasure, who isn't performing but experiencing. And in a world full of facades, that's rare and magnetic. Your ability to receive is just as powerful as your ability to give. And when you let go fully, freely, without apology, that's not just intimacy, that's alchemy. Let's wrap this up with the big picture. You don't need to be louder, more performative, or say the perfect thing to be unforgettable in bed. It's not about what you say. It's about the energy you bring, the way you're fully present, the way your eyes linger, the way your breath deepens, the way you guide with subtle confidence, the way you surrender where it feels safe. That's what turns him on in a way he can't explain. That's what he'll carry with him. You don't need to perform to be powerful, and you don't need to speak to be heard. Trust your body, trust the moment, and trust that the most magnetic thing you can be is real. So the next time you're with someone you care about, drop into your body. Let your silence say everything, and let your energy awaken something in him. That's where true intimacy lives. Now go be unforgettable. Stay true to yourself. To all the spicy ladies make life beautiful. See you in our next video.